When I first started looking into portable power stations, the biggest thing that kept me up at night was the fear of buying something that sounded impressive on paper but turned out to be a paperweight when a storm rolled in or when I was out on the trail. You know that hesitation do I really need 4 kilowatt hours of capacity? Will the solar panel actually charge fast enough? Will the unit survive a tumble in the back of my RV? I've spent the last few weeks digging through specs, watching a handful of long-form reviews, and scrolling through the many questions people ask on forums. My goal here is to give you a straightforward look at the AFERY 3840WH solar generator so you can decide whether it truly fits the gaps in your backup or adventure kit. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Let's start with the basics that matter in everyday life, not the marketing jargon. The unit is built around a 3840WH LiFePO4 battery, which is a step up from the cheap lead-acid packs you see on many low-budget models. LiFePO4 cells keep a more stable voltage and tolerate deeper discharge cycles, meaning you can regularly pull down to about 20% without shaving years off the lifespan. For a homeowner who wants to keep a few essential appliances running, a mini fridge, a medical device, maybe a Wi-Fi router, this translates to roughly 810 hours of power before you need to recharge. In a real emergency, that's enough time to bridge the gap until the grid comes back, especially when you pair it with the included 400W solar panel. The solar panel itself is rated at 400W, and the manufacturer claims an IP67 rating for water and dust resistance. In practice, that means you can set it up on a rainy campsite without worrying about it shorting out, and you can even rinse it off after a dusty desert trek. The charging speed is where the numbers become useful. With a solid 400W panel under full sun, the unit can top off from 0 to 80% in about an hour and a half. That's fast enough that if you've got a clear sky forecast, you could run a weekend of camping, deplete the battery during the day, and have it ready by the next morning. If you rely on AC wall charging instead, the unit takes roughly the same 1.5 hours to reach a full charge from empty, thanks to the 600W AC input. For most people who have a garage outlet, that quick turnaround is a real convenience. Now, let's talk about the practical strengths. First, the UPS functionality. The generator can switch to battery power in under 10 milliseconds when the main supply drops. If you've ever seen a home theater system flicker or a medical monitor reboot during an outage, you know how disruptive that can be. With this rapid switchover, anything plugged into the 120V AC outlets keeps running without a hiccup. That makes it a decent backup for sensitive electronics, not just a generic lantern. Second, the app control is genuinely useful. I've used the companion app to set a timed shutdown for the AC output, so the battery never dips below a safe threshold. The app also gives you a live readout of input voltage, battery health, and remaining runtime, which is far more informative than the simple LED bars you find on cheaper units. On the downside, the size and weight are still a consideration. At around 45 pounds, the AFERY isn't something you'll want to lug up a steep hiking trail. It's comfortable enough for an RV roof rack or a car trunk, but if your primary use case is backpacking, you'll probably be looking at a much smaller 500WH model and accept the trade-off of fewer outlets. Another point to note is the array of output ports. There are 15, which sounds impressive, but only a few are true AC outlets, 120V, 1000W each. The rest are 12V DC car ports, USB-C PD, and standard USB-A. If you need to run several hydro appliances simultaneously, say, a power tool and a portable heater, you'll quickly run into the 3600W total inverter limit. The unit will automatically limit output to protect itself, which is safe but can be frustrating if you're not aware of the combined load. Who should buy this? If you own an RV and spend a lot of time off-grid, the AFERY gives you the ability to power a mini fridge, a few lights, a laptop, and even a small microwave for short bursts without pulling a generator that runs on gasoline. For homeowners in hurricane-prone regions, the quick-charge solar panel and UPS capability make it a reliable bridge power source, especially when paired with a few critical loads like a sump pump alarm and a communication device. It also works well for small-scale outdoor events where you need clean, silent power for audio equipment or lighting rigs. The quiet operation of a lithium battery is a nice contrast to noisy gasoline generators. Who should walk away? If you're looking for a primary home backup that can keep a whole house running, you'll need a much larger capacity, think 10 kilowatt hours or more, and likely a multiple unit setup.